Are you going to introduce?
Okay, guys, winter's here. As you can see, we've got our cardies and jumpers on. Street's freezing. She's also got a water bottle behind her.
I always have the water bottle with me.
Yeah,
I
but
carry
it's getting
him
cold.
everywhere.
It's getting cold now.
He's become like my best friend.
But it's cold now.
It's freezing. I was wearing gym jams as well, like on top of my leggings. But obviously, I can't do that whilst I'm on the podcast.
Street's been complaining about the cold quite a lot. She complains anyway, but she's complaining a lot more.
I have my slipper socks
Am I
on.
right?
I have another pair of socks on underneath that.
Am I right?
I'm complaining quite a lot about the cold.
And
Who
that's
wouldn't?
what we're going to talk about.
The cold?
No, women complaining.
Oh, before we do.
Is it about women complaining?
I think so.
Mainly women complaining. It is women that complain, yeah? Is that what we're saying?
You don't complain.
No, I'm just saying. Is
No, we're
something
not.
happened that on our TikTok?
Okay, we can talk about that in a bit.
But that's what
cheers.
we're going to talk about women complaining. Am I right? Am I right?
What's your problem?
I'm just saying, am I right?
Cheers.
What we're cheating about?
Cheers. These are the first time we're using these glasses, these wine glasses. Obviously, from the last podcast, our son had broken one. But these are from my 40th birthday, which I've never been able to use.
Oh, fantastic. Even better.
And
Oh, and to celebrate that you got over 50,000 followers on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Cheers,
Lots to
guys. Thank you
celebrate.
for supporting if you are on TikTok and everywhere else. But my 40th birthday, it was lockdown. It was lockdown, wasn't it?
Can't remember.
Yeah, of course it was.
I can't remember.
It was lockdown. It's kind of the worst. You know what I've thought to myself whilst I was washing these? First of all, I forgot of their existence. I have a lot of things that I thought I'd buy for my 40th, which you probably don't even know about.
No?
They're
It's been ages.
Yeah, well, they're still. I have not
With
opened them.
lockdown?
I've not opened them or used them. You know those kind of punch kind of glass little containers that you just put your drink underneath and you already make the drink and you just kind of, it's got the little tap thing.
No
I brought
idea.
2 of those for the
Okay.
table. I brought these wine glasses. I brought loads of fancy things. Not that I've got any friends. I was going to have a family party.
And then she realised she ain't got a family either.
No, but whilst I was
Oh.
washing the glasses, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I'm not going to celebrate my birthday on my birthday. I'm either going to do it a week before or a day before or something because I just feel like I'm jinxed.
So now you're going to do it like 4 years later or something? Because 40 was
I'm
many
not
years ago.
saying I want to celebrate my 40th again. What I'm saying is every birthday.
Every year.
Yeah, it's jinxed. It just feels like it's a jinxed birthday, and it's been the case since I was chutticle.
You believe in things being jinxed then?
I do. Did you? What's your favourite birthday you've ever had that you can remember?
That I can remember.
Yeah, it's the best birthday you ever had.
I went to Dubai on my 40th.
Did we go on your 40th?
Yeah.
Lucky fucking you. For me, Jesus. So I told you I'm
What the
jinxed.
hell?
Nothing happens. Nothing happens for me. You know, we have lockdown or something happens. You know, like for my 21st birthday, I was pregnant. Not that I was not happy, but he could have still done something for my 21st birthday. But apparently you had a surprise. I remember the girl that you used to work with years ago when you was at Lloyd's TSB, whatever it was. What was it? We used to work in the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that girl, she used to talk to me as well, saying that he was going to do something. It's like, so I'm pregnant. I can't go. I can't have a party.
You had a great birthday party when all your friends turned up.
I was going to answer that myself. I didn't ask you to answer my best birthday. I was asking, yeah, it's
Sorry.
always the case though. See, I
No.
told you he loves to talk for other people.
I'm just saying. She said I haven't had one, and I was like going, wait a second.
No, I didn't. I asked you the question, what's yours? Yeah, I didn't have one. I was
that
going
was
to tell you
mine.
my main.
And not only that, yeah, that was mine. That was mine. I've had loads of good birthdays. I had one when you were pregnant as well. Oh, everyone came and you done this big surprise thing.
Oh yeah, where you danced with one of my friends and made me
I
feel
danced
like
with
shit.
every friend.
No, you were getting freaky with it. And you know what he was dancing.
Freaky with
We
it.
have got. Can you imagine? I'm about to drop. I'm 9 months pregnant, more or less, 8.5 months.
No?
Yes, I
9
was. I was
months
always about to drop.
9 months pregnant.
I look like
Oh
Olga,
my-
right? My hair looked like really bad as well.
Shrek.
But anyway, I've
Did
got.
you say Shrek?
Yeah, Shrek.
You're joking. You're joking.
Right, I have.
Go on.
I have proof of this. So I'm pregnant, about to drop any minute now, and the night was amazing. The tunes we had, all friends.
Had a good-
The house was packed, jam packed, and the tune that will never. Every time it plays now,
I don't
no,
even. Okay.
No,
put
no,
it this
no,
way.
no, let
She's
me
gonna
finish
tell you lot
again.
about this tune. I knew nothing
Okay,
about the tune.
okay.
It didn't even
I
matter to
don't
me
care.
about the tune.
Okay, come on, let me finish.
And she told me later, and I was like,
Later, everyone was looking at you thinking, "Whoa,
No.
dude, what are
Hey,
you doing?"
red flag.
That's what they're saying now. It would have been a red flag. You're
Red
lucky.
flag.
You're lucky I didn't run away, but I had your baby I was carrying on a gave you the baby and ran. If it was
red flag. And then 4 children later.
carrying your baby at that point, if I was pregnant.
It was a good birthday.
No, hold, I haven't finished.
Oh my God.
I have not finished. So I'm pregnant, 9 months, yeah. And this madhouse party going on until 4 a.m. And Wifey, the song, would you be my wifey? Or something like that.
I don't even know what the song is. I'm not even into that kind of jam or that kind of music. I don't even listen to lyrics.
Don't bullshit, because you
I
were
swear to God,
winding your booty.
I have, swear to God. I wind my booty no matter even if it was a guy. It doesn't matter. That's how I dance.
You were winding your booty with next girl.
No, I was dancing with everyone. But during
and
that
she
song,
was probably the prettiest girl in the whole of the friend group that I had.
You was the prettiest girl that
I look like
everyone.
Olga. You're such a bullshitter.
No, you look like Fiona from
I was
Shrek, but I didn't look
small
anything worse.
compared to her.
I mean, I look like Shrek.
I ballooned out so good, like everywhere. Like normally it's just my stomach. With Raina, my face was fat by then as well.
Fiona from Shrek.
That's what I look like. And you.
But you're still beautiful.
You ignored me all night.
I did not ignore you all night.
Okay, you didn't ignore
You're
me,
a
but
liar.
you were dancing.
Now you're becoming like, no, honestly, did not ignore all night. Everything was fantastic. Just this one song. I was dancing with every single person because it's my birthday.
You be my
but
wife?
this one song, I ended up dancing with this
You
particular person.
wasn't just dancing. You were
Oh
on
my
the.
God.
You were.
I was dancing and doing that even when people weren't around me and you saw. Okay, but what ended up happening was,
It was
and the
disgusting.
weird thing was, I didn't even know what the song was, and she later on goes, "Did you know you danced to
Will you be my
with this
wifey?
song?" And I was like going,
It wasn't even, guys.
even
Right,
care.
picture this. He is. How can I put it? Dirty dancing.
I could dance salsa. That's all I could dance. I can't do Bhangra stuff. I can't do
please
any
don't.
other ballroom asri.
Please
I
don't.
move my hips regardless.
You do not want him to.
Not
do
anymore.
Any kind
I
of
used
Indian.
to. I don't dance now. I haven't danced for probably about 8-9 years now.
Yeah, you don't want to
It's
see.
been about 9 years. But when I was younger, that's all I could do. Okay?
And I prefer him to do that because you don't want to see Steve dancing Bhangra at all. Trust me, it's not Bhangra. I don't know what it's a salsa, but I don't know what it is.
But anyway,
Yeah.
different story.
That was my.
Now you're.
Yeah, so that was
Yours.
your birthday, which you really enjoyed because you grooved away
It
with other
was-
people.
yeah,
Other than your wife. Dancing to wifey.
I'm still here to tell the tale. Okay. And if it was so bad, you wouldn't be here now.
So he had a lot of.
I've had lots of good birthdays. Yeah. I'm not jinxed.
It's a shame I can't say that.
There you go. Good.
The only birthday I can remember is the one that you surprised. And that was at my 30th.
I think so.
No, it was the 31st.
There you go.
It was my 31st. And it was the best birthday ever. A shame I don't like. So let me tell you what happened first. I think it happened like that. What I can remember, because I was drunk, remember?
Yeah, good.
So anyway, Steve booked a hotel for us, and all I wanted is to spend the night with him. We're going to go up and have a few drinks and stuff. That's all I knew. Got drunk before we even left, and I didn't want to leave. I was like, "Can we just stay?"
Not drunk.
I was
you had
tipsy.
A few drinks. You had a few drinks.
I
You
think
wasn't drunk.
I felt like I was
No,
drunk,
you
especially when I got outside. The air hit me.
You was okay.
I
You
was-
was okay. You was fine.
Happy drunk, but
Yeah.
I wanted to stay
You
in.
was okay.
So
Yeah,
I
she
had
didn't
no
wanna leave.
idea,
Well, she
and I'm
dressed up.
like, I really, you chose my dress for me as well. You brought my dress. I still have that dress. I love that dress.
Say.
So we had this amazing meal, had drinks, had a beautiful view, and I was like, let's just stay here. And he's like, no, we're gonna go and have some more drinks. We'll come back early. I was like, fine. And then we'd gone to a few bars, and then
No,
I
we
didn't-
weren't going to the few bars. I actually planned it perfectly that we were going to go to the bar that we were going to go into. But whatever I had done or had planned, and the people, they weren't there yet. So things were running a bit late. So I ended up getting a message to say, stall. So that's why we went
I
to
went
a
to a
couple
few
of
bars.
bars on the way.
I was too drunk to know what was going on. So anyway, when we did finally hit the bar that everyone was going to meet up in, I remember you just passing me a cocktail menu. Because we walked in and he's like, here, have a look at this. I'm there looking at this cocktail menu.
And I said, we're
Walking.
sitting over there.
Walking. And bloody hell, there's shitloads of people there. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I had a booth booked and she didn't know that. And that's the thing is they needed to get there before, with the cake and banners and whatever. And yeah, I just gave her a cocktail menu and said, we sitting over there.
I had no
Once
idea.
you turned, they were all sitting.
I had no
Well,
idea
not all, but
that my daughter had gone through my phone book and got all my friends' numbers and stuff. And they'd all arranged turn up. A few of them didn't turn up, but like it was
No. Many. So basically,
a
started
lot
with
of people.
quite a lot. A fair few people came originally, sat, booth, set up, everything, and it worked out better because not everyone could get back to me, and everyone said they'll try to make it. So I didn't know who's coming, but besides the ones that did come. So Sri obviously saw them, and she was so happy and excited that she's got all these like friends who are there, and obviously I was there, and so. But as the night grew, more and more people
were
one
turning
by
up.
one. I don't know if people seen that movie Om Shanti Om,
It's
with Shah
beautiful.
Rukh Khan, where he's singing that song Om Shanti Om, and all the celebrities start coming one by one, and you're going, oh my god, who's coming? It was one of those kind of nights where even though I didn't know that they were going to come, everyone was invited, told them where we were going to be, and they weren't coming together. They were just sprinkling in one by one. Nearly every half an hour, someone would turn up, and she'll be like, "Oh my gosh!" and then next person, "Oh my gosh!" and
It
then
was
next person, "Oh my
amazing.
gosh!" Yeah, and it was one of those.
It was amazing. It was such an amazing night. I had no idea. Trust me. I was trying to get this man back to the hotel. He had lipstick all over him before he even left. You had red lipstick all over your shirt.
I had my white shirt. I had red lipstick.
Yeah, sorry, over your white shirt, red lippy all over you. But that was probably my most favourite birthday by far. Like, it was the best. I had no idea. Steve is not good at keeping secrets, so he has to let you know somehow or another, or drop hints, or trying to find out. And that reminds me, you know what reminds me? Casey says that about her boyfriend, like our daughter. Her boyfriend does the same. He doesn't know how to keep a secret. Like, he tries his best, but he wants to know what to buy and stuff.
Yeah,
and
because you don't want to
question a couple of months beforehand. But that was like by far my best birthday. But the shame is I don't speak to any of those people whatsoever. Not one.
That's why when she turns around and goes, you know what, I would love to have a big birthday party and have this and that. I'm like, you don't even have those people. How are you going to do that?
It was the best night
ever. What do you want me to do? Book a hall and have no one there?
No.
I'm not into that kind of stuff anyway. I don't like that big hall kind of party thing.
No. That was really. It was. Yeah, it was good, but it's a shame because all those people, there was not that we had any falling out or anything. We just kind of drifted. Yeah, every single one of them. The only one, I'm not sure whether she turned up now, is my best friend from school, secondary school, and I'm still in touch with her now. We don't really see each other that much, but we try to see each other at least 2 to 3 times a year. She's really busy. But you know who I'm talking about. Did she turn up, Rena?
No,
because I remember her texting me, telling me that she was going to come. She didn't. I can't remember. It just felt like there was so many people that night. That's the only person I keep in touch with.
Yeah. So, but that's how it was. It's like you don't fall out with people. You just, everyone grows. And
right. It was an amazing night.
So anyway, where were we? Where did you go?
From these glasses. We went on about birthdays.
You weren't even going to go there, guys. And this is what happens with our.
I'm feeling I might just change. I might either do it a day before or a week before.
Okay.
Just thought about that whilst I was washing my dishes.
See, guys, Street starts with the whole podcast was going to be about arguments and moaning and groaning, complaining, Karens. That's what it's going to be about. Because recently we had the TikTok where many ladies were basically saying they've snapped at their partner, husband, boyfriend, whatever it is, either because of their time of the month or it was because they were just having a bad day or they was tired or something or the other, that they've had a little bit of a disagreement or they've yelled or shouted. Now, how do I resolve that? I feel bad and stuff like that. And my advice was, it's okay. Us guys, how we are is the only thing we do is we make sure that we don't want the argument or whatever it was to go even worse than it is. Or, us like to say something even though we know that we haven't done anything wrong, but we might end up making it bigger than it is. But otherwise, if you just ask him, not even ask him how he is, just like more or less go up to the person and just say, would you like a cup of tea? I was making the tea. The guy just wants to know that everything is okay.
That's the advice we gave her. Like I was saying, just go up to him, give him a beer or something, depending on what time of the day it is. No, because she spoke today and she said that he didn't even think there was a problem. I was just saying, can you believe, like, us women, like, if we could be anything like guys, not all the time, but most of the time when like guys are all right just to put things to the side, we do hold grudges. Like, I know, like, we have that in us, like, oh my god, like, hold it on a lot longer. If we could be a little more, I did say, hey, just imagine us women if we just put things to the side a lot quicker than we do, because we don't, do we?
You didn't. You do now.
I do now. You didn't as well.
No, I'm actually defending.
Before you got, you
I'm
were
on
the
your
same.
side. Yeah.
Jesus, you
Did I
remember
say anything
you
bad?
used to be really bad.
I actually took your side. You know what? See, this is what I mean. This is really crazy.
It always
isn't
comes on to him.
When you actually take a person's
No, I
side,
didn't, and I'm saying that because of
and you're
experience.
going, you didn't, but now you do now. So you're
A
not
lot-
that person, and you're like, what about you? I ain't competing.
but it's like okay, then
Sorry,
how about
I was the worst person.
how
I'm the
about we
bad part.
both didn't?
I still do it. She's changed though. She's lovely.
Yeah, I'm lovely.
Yeah, I still do it though, even though I didn't never done then either. But
You didn't hold grudges.
I want to resolve things a lot quicker.
You
Majority of the
but you
time.
didn't really resolve things because you used to make it
Because I
even
keep
worse.
trying to come and it was just like constant, like
irritating. And I think even if you know
most
you
of our arguments were basically resolved when you wanted it to be resolved.
of course, I needed space from you.
But this is the point I'm trying to make. And I think this is the point that majority of the guys, you just started that conversation about the advice you gave. That's women. If we just learn to drop things
Yeah,
a
but
lot
that's-
quicker,
Yeah.
and then you basically saying, and I'm saying
Over
exactly,
time, it does change. You
But-
learn to deal with each other a lot, and you
all-
understand each other
and
why
all
they're
I'm
behaving.
saying is, regardless of the argument or the issue, when the wife or the partner comes, the girlfriend comes and says, "We're okay. Let's just move on," the guy drops it. It doesn't be the other way around. So it's usually when the wife or
Okay,
the female
that's
is going,
fine. You
"I'm
can-
okay for this."
Okay,
to
that's
not
absolutely
carry on."
fine. Yeah, certain stages in marriages, but do you think that's the same when, say, 2 years, 5 years in? I don't think so.
No,
But,
first 2 or 5 years in,
five-
that man
even
doesn't
10 years?
I think a man is like, tiptoeing around and he's okay with everything. A lot more
Really?
in the first year or so. I don't think they get. I think they're more or less they can wait places for an hour for their girl. They don't hardly show any that they're upset. If there's guys out there, what's me and you were dating, guys out there who basically are arguing, having an issue and a problem, like this program that we're watching, Married at First Sight, if guys haven't seen it, straight away, first week, hardly know the person, and they're more or less going, piss you, I can't take whatever you're saying, how you being, whatever. I know it might be genuine, but when you're dating someone, you just getting to know someone, you don't start with, big massive.
I understand
like,
that at the beginning
arguments
you
and
don't,
issues.
but
So-
once you're newly into a wedding, even 2-3 years down the line, I don't think it's a case where okay that you just drop things and you move on. And from whether it's just taken from our experience, it wasn't the case.
No,
Both sides,
we didn't know
you
how
were
to
just
communicate.
you were just as bad, in fact. Like, so that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering whether it's the same. I think that gradually happens over years, where we are now. It didn't just happen
Not with
overnight.
everyone. No, we had some people on recently that have been married for such a long time, and they're still saying that no,
They're still the
can't
same.
communicate. They just stop talking.
I
for
understand
ages.
that, but I believe it comes in time for everybody, because regardless of even if you've had this great, amazing relationship and you finally got married, you've been together 2-3 years, I don't know, and you've had this great wedding and everything else, the first year's great. That communication to where it gets so much more better. And I think it is a good 10-15 years down into your marriage, probably even longer, where you are where we are.
Can I also say, you mentioned something else as well on the TikTok live that we did. Watching that program that Married with,
Oh my God.
Married, what was it?
Married at First Sight.
At First Sight in the UK, yeah.
We're addicted to
there
it.
was something about the two groups of people, and the men were very supportive of the female that they knew and encouraging, whereas all the females
So horrid.
were and you said that and you were telling everyone else, did you see the support network and how they are thinking? And not only that, the way that they were behaving when new people were coming that they don't even know. Brand new women come in,
So
men would see men coming in, no issue,
So
no problem.
bitter.
And I don't think any of the men had an argument or issue with each other. They weren't interfering in each other's relationships either. They were basically, what's going on in their life got nothing to do with me. I'm just focused on mine. I'm not happy with mine.
Men are just
The
easy-go-lucky.
women
They're
were
doing that.
interfering with everyone else's relationship.
So the thing is,
But also, new couples came in. They had an issue with the women before they even walked in.
Yeah.
As soon as they walked in, oh, I'm not happy about this.
Yeah, obviously-
Already want to be confrontational and put boundaries up.
yeah, obviously the men, they were like a little more, they're a lot more mellow. They are. And they're not perfect men.
No,
But they're
no,
not,
they're not
But they're
perfect.
not out there like, oh my God, like it was just, the women were
They're
like hawks,
insecure.
insecure, unreal.
And
like,
ready to have issues and problems with people they don't even know.
And I think that was just really.
Or interfering in other people's relationships, even though their own were so messed up.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on let me build my relationship with whoever I'm with, it was like
Yeah.
issues with these other relationships, focusing on those.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. So that to me, I was just like, shit. Just imagine having a group of friends like that. No wonder you're all like single. If you have got that in your life, no, I think sometimes I think, some of the people who are single, they need to sit back and actually question themselves. Why are we single at 30?
I mean,
Are
unless
we
you
being
want
too
to be
picky?
single,
Yeah, that's
if you
absolutely
want to be
fine.
single, it's a totally different
Are
thing.
we being too picky? Because I know I've known a lot of friends who were very much like, it has to be this height, it has to be a certain age, he has to have a certain career, it's got to be dark skinned, it's got to be, all those things. I'm like, freaking hell.
And every
Good
person I
luck to
met is
you.
like a bad person.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be in a relationship, then I get it. Like, why am I not in one? And secondly, if I have tried and it's not working out, what is it? Is it always because I'm picking the wrong person?
Yeah.
And what's my friend group like around me?
That's one.
Because we also saw that their friend groups also influence their thinking with
definitely.
everything. You could be getting on with someone and think everything's great, and then all of a sudden they put something in your head that you didn't even consider or think about.
But if you looked at the ones who did work out, did you see how their friends were? They were really, really nice,
Supportive.
weren't they? They
Family
didn't seem like
and friends
those
were supportive.
bitches,
No.
like jealousy
And
kind.
I think it's that, again, when it comes to arguments and issues, I think the people that you've been brought up around, also seeing how they used to manage conflict and arguments at home, could be parents, could be, whoever.
It's just an example we had last week.
And friends influence you.
Last week's conversation we had, I think I mentioned there as well. There's an occasion that we had where we had like this big blow up, and the one friend I had got to the extent she was going to like, oh my God, you shouldn't put up with him, you should leave him, blah, blah, blah. That's a friend that I did have a friend like that. I'd say, I think she was probably the only one, to be honest. I don't think anyone else had said that. And she's no longer in my life, but like she's ended up being divorced herself. I think it's a second marriage. I don't know if she's lasted in the second marriage, but like you need to look at your friend group as well and see are they giving you the right advice. Yeah.
So anyway, leading from that, or unless you want to carry on, is there anything more that you want to say about that? No. But obviously, leading from that, like women, and it has been the shows that we've been watching, you see how they're reacting. So it's not like we're here sitting here making things up. Friends. Most of the streets for friends are male. Yeah. But if we see the shows that we're watching, you have a look at yourself if you think we're wrong about it. We don't know these people from Adam, and many of the things that me and Sweet were saying, the judges were saying, and it was like crazy. It was like going, wow. But leading on to that, complaining, who do you think complains more, women or men? I'm asking you.
That's just, the answer, so you just want to hear it out of my mouth?
No, I don't know the answer.
You do know the answer.
What's the answer?
You know the answer.
What?
Why do you want to hear it in my mouth?
Why is it so difficult to say?
Because you men would prefer us to argue on your behalf as well. Like, for a fact. Just like, it's us. We're the ones.
Who what?
Us women.
Do what?
Moan and groan and argue.
About?
Anything and everything.
Do you?
Yeah. And even if it's something you want to moan about, you'll get me to do it for you. Don't even like you don't. Like, what was the last one? Was it the ice cream?
I don't even know what
from McDonald's. You weren't happy about, but you didn't want to get out of the car. You wanted me to go in there.
I didn't say anything to you. You did.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering.
You can't do it. The thing is, you're like.
When did the word Karen come into play? When did the word Karen come into play? Or how long has it been going on for?
It's been a good couple of years now. Well, long enough now.
It's got to be longer than that.
5, 6 years.
Because that's what the girls call you, our own daughters, Karen.
I'm a proud Karen. And the thing is, they love it as well.
Is there many Karens out there? Is it?
I tell you, I guarantee there's some horrible Karens though. I'm a nice Karen. There's some horrible Karens.
Sri doesn't get into argument.
I'm a nice Karen.
She
I get what I want.
She pleasantly. Is this because you're a Karen, or is it like a pretty privilege?
It's because I'm a Karen.
Not because it's a pretty privilege. I didn't even know what that was until recently. No. People are going, oh God, does she get what she wants because she's a Karen, or is it because of a pretty privilege?
A bit of both.
But both.
I'm a good Karen.
But majority of the time, it's women that you talk to, and they're still not very lovely, aren't they, with you? Mm. I mean, I remember I went to McDonald's once, and it was crazy. Went to get my son. I think it was a Happy Meal or something, so nothing major. Drive through, knew what I wanted, and they told me to go and wait on the side. I was thinking, all I want is 6 chicken nuggets with some fries and that little toy thing. I'm going for the drive-through. I've told you what I want. How hard and difficult can that be? Mm. And it didn't seem like it was so busy inside or anything, cars or anything. So I parked there, And sorry, and a McFlurry. So they give me the McFlurry right then and can you just park over there? We go. I was there for about 25 minutes. The McFlurry had melted. And I've gone inside and I thought, even if they come out, 25 minutes, I could see other people waiting as well and no one knew what was going on. Went inside and I went, my McFlurry's melted. I still haven't got my order. And they went, oh, okay, we apologise about that. Here, we'll change the McFlurry. Change the McFlurry. And we'll be out in a bit. Went out. I waited another 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
So I went back in. Now where it's been 40 something minutes. So all I wanted was a Happy Meal and this McFlurry. This one's melted. So can I just speak to the manager? And the manager came and like, I apologise. Redone the McFlurry, gave me my Happy Meal and they gave me just like a few fries, like a little packet of fries as an apology. And I'm not one of those who complain. So I just went, yeah, okay. You know, like as another 40 minutes for this little meal that I was like, oh my gosh.
So you got all your meal as well
I got
as
my
the
own
fries,
meal, but they just gave me a
free
free
fries.
fries.
I would have gone mad for those free fries. I would have
She
gone in
wouldn't
there
have
and I
told
got my money back. I would have got extra food. I would have got everyone ice cream back at home. And I, for a fact, I'd get it as well. Because it's so damn wrong. Like you're waiting that long. It's fast food. You should be able to get that. That's 20 times 15.
And the recent one went to McDonald's, right? And went to the drive-thru straight in and she wanted a drink, just a drink, cafe latte. So I pulled up. There was both sides empty. I pulled up, like, just before us, there was like 2 cars. And I was coming. So both the cars had gone. I pulled up onto the right one, waited. And then a car come onto the left. And they served the car on the left.
They have cameras, so they see, they pick and choose.
And you can see, the person on the customer service was white female. And white male came then, she spoke to him, gave the order. I'm still waiting on this side. Another car comes, served them as well. So they was basically serving everyone. And on the left, and I'm not being bad, I'm not saying it was the case, but they were white that were coming. I was like, yeah, what's going on here? Came to the point where they still didn't serve me after these vehicles went. They had to drive around the side and then go, I've been waiting there.
And it's not like the camera, it wasn't working because the one before us, just before us had gone.
Yeah, so they already been served.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I've just been waiting there. All I wanted was a cafe latte and 3 people come after me on the other side and they've been served. And she went, oh, I'm sorry. And then another girl came and she basically went, I don't know if it was a manager, but she was Asian and she went, I do apologise. She goes, I'm not going to charge you for the cafe. I don't know if she saw what was going on. I said 3 people came after me and they got served.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting there and I still haven't. No one
See, he did it in such a nice way.
And I've done it so politely. And she said, the Asian lady, she basically said, I think she was just busy and occupied. She still didn't say anything bad about her. She said it in the most, and she said, but because of this, it's like she acknowledged it, what went on, but didn't want to and I think that was still good, like not putting her colleague down, but yet not getting into a confrontation or anything. She knew what had happened, but she more or less done it in a professional manner. I think she might have been occupied and busy, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the drink for free.
See, you had the patience to...
And I was patient, I was quiet, I didn't argue, I just said, we're there.
You had the patience to drive to the next window and place your order or tell her. I would have still been there at that drive-through, the little thing that you hear, and I'll be shouting down that thing. I'll be like, excuse me, you freaking racist. I would have said it, hold on. 3 cars have gone. What the hell? What is your excuse? Don't say this is just all of a sudden broken because there was a car in front of me that you've just served. I would have gone mad. I don't know how you held it in, and I think enough respect because I would have lost my temper.
Been a police officer for 20 years. Okay,
that side of me, I need to really temper. I can't. I don't like that control kind of stuff. I don't like it. But I get a lot. I get everything
what
free.
Other people. I'm just wondering what other people would have done in those 2 circumstances that I was in. Like what do other people do?
I'll tell you what I would have done. I told you. I wouldn't have been happy with with just some fries for free. I would have gone in there. I would have complained like crazy. That's my time. What is it a drive-through for? Why the hell don't you have whatever nuggets you wanted?
6 nuggets and fries.
What the hell? Kind of thing.
You McDonald's, your fast food.
Yeah.
Not flipping our food.
35, 40 minutes.
I would have got served better, quicker if I went to the restaurant.
So yes, I am a Karen. I'm a proud Karen because you guys know you benefited from it as well. I always come back with freebies, and it's not just like a little fries that you would bring home. I bring a meal back for everybody.
So basically, the question is, number 1, Karens. Obviously, those are females. Is there a male equivalent to a Karen? And not only that, are people happy? I mean, how do you deal with those kind of situations? I mean, I think you need to question customer service and things that don't go. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because if people ain't serving and doing the job that they should, I expect if I wasn't doing my job properly, like, when I was in the police force, I'm sure a person would complain and say he didn't do it properly.
I think in fast food stuff like that, they don't bother.
But the thing is,
It's
your
not a big deal.
whole thing is you're in customer service and you're there to deal with customers and you're supposed to provide the best service you can. I understand you're busy, but what do people do in the circumstances? Would you complain? But how would you complain? That kind of thing. And do you guys complain? And do you think it's majority, or if you are in the customer service or retail business, is it mainly women or men that complain? I'm just curious.
It'd be women, definitely. I put my bets on that. Jeez, I'd be a millionaire. I put a lot of money on that. It'd be women. And you know it as well. You know that's probably the first time you would ever bet.
What? Why
You
is
put
that?
your house on it.
Why is that restaurant that we went to? Was it actually called Karen's? That joint where they were like swearing.
They
and
scared
shouting
me
food.
actually.
I'm like, what the
You
piss?
freaked you out.
I
They
didn't
did.
even know what the heck was going on when she took me
You
there.
were scared shitless.
They called us for a collaboration thing. So I was like, oh, just another restaurant. We get called.
The food
left,
was
right,
gross.
center. And I went there. And next thing you know, it's like person's right in my face. I'm like, what the piss is going on here? I thought I'm the customer.
People go to those
And people
places.
are happy. There's one guy who walks in by himself and they went, who you come with? And he went by himself. Oh my gosh, everyone. And they like made everyone turn their heads around and go, look at this loser here who's coming to the place all by themselves. Oh my. Everyone's there singing like this. And this person there like, it's like, I'll be like going, damn man.
Do you think he came in knowing that's going to happen and he just wanted, yeah, clothes.
Because he was smiling though, wasn't he?
I would have vlogged it all.
I would have been like, what? I would have been in the corner crying.
Maybe he's sad. He just needed the attention. No, because when we go places, we just want to eat. We don't want to be disturbed. We don't just leave us alone. Because there's times where we go out and people who know us will come and approach us and we're like, oh my God, hide. And this place we went to do a collaboration, they're in your bloody face.
I just want to know from all people out there, their dealings with conflict, conflict and conflict resolution and things. How do you guys in your relationships have figured out how to deal with issues?
You know what? Especially when you're outside.
Arguments.
When you're outside, you've gone out and you've I don't know, had a nice meal and something's gone wrong and you've ended up having an argument. You can't even barely look at each other at the table. We've had some nights where we've argued whilst we're out. Hannah? Mostly we've had a good night, even when we're drunk, but there's been times where we've argued.
But it's mostly been good though.
There's been good.
We'll
make up on the train on the way back.
And it's been over some petty stupid thing.
Yeah.
Last minute kind of thing, not throughout the night.
No. But just wondering, we've not really had anything major.
No. Besides that one that you was talking about, when we went away and it was a birthday party and it just went all sort of tits up on the way back.
There was that, and there was also when we hired a place. There was that one time. Do you remember? We did that one place on the Broad Street, and it was was it a fancy dress thing that we did?
Oh yeah.
That was a mad night.
That was my birthday party.
Why do you have other good birthdays?
Oh, it was an amazing night again. It was an amazing birthday party. It was a fancy dress one.
You have all the good birthdays.
Street was dressed as a police officer.
Yeah.
And we had another friend who was dressed as a police officer.
Yeah.
I was dressed as a soldier.
Yeah.
Everyone
fit,
But weren't loads of people were dressed up fancy dress for some reason.
It was.
And my birthday was in May, so it wasn't like Halloween or anything.
Such a good night.
But loads of people were in fancy dress and went place to place to place. And we had such a fantastic night.
Imagine doing that now at this age, Kenny.
I don't think people could do what we were doing.
Could we do it now at this age? I could still do it. I'd love to do
it.
But
as a couple, see, this is the kind of relationship we had where, we could have a laugh and a joke. It's like Sweet. We had these games that we were playing. And Sweet had...
Our friend was in between and she got fed up. She was like, I'm going to bed. You guys
can argue. Regarding the argument
all you want.
Issue, we got into argument afterwards, after the whole thing. And she was just like, you lot just... Yeah. So that was that. But besides the argument, right, we had an amazing night. And I even remember Street got all these stickers. And she basically told me that they had to choose at these venues that we were at, who I've got to put the sticker on, and I've got to do it. And those were the days kind of throughout the night.
Yeah.
And I've done them all.
Yeah.
And it was just the way that it was done. Fantastic.
It was a good night.
It was such a good night. Yeah.
How do you overcome an argument when you're outside in the public?
It's not easy.
No.
Because, and certainly, you can see sometimes, isn't it, people at parties or people at weddings and things like that, they've come together, but they've got issues, baggage,
Yeah.
and but they're still trying to make the effort, talking, but yet you can see that they don't really see eye to eye. It's not easy, and the thing is, it
The
happens.
thing is, no, it's not,
natural,
it's,
though.
it
Isn't
happens, but it carries on where people haven't got to the point in their life like where we are. I know for a fact we're out now and we had an argument, or if we're at a wedding or something happened, the way we would have dealt with things before to what we deal with things now. I hope so.
Totally different. No, I think now we've been out, we have a bit of a disagreement. It's like going, give about 3 or 4 minutes, have a little bit of sip of a drink and going, okay, what we're going to do next, or where we're going, or we
Brush it under the
we just like go, sorry, it's nothing major. Let's just get on with stuff. We do. That's what I think we have.
Yeah, because you look back, you think the majority of arguments you have over nothing.
Because you can have like 20 something odd hours of fun, happiness, joy, and then you get like 5 minutes over something stupid that can ruin a whole night. And you, instead of letting it go, people keep hold of it.
Yeah, I think people really like, especially if they're newly in a marriage, or even like I think it takes a good long time. People still really think, shit, man, is this gonna last? Is what the hell? This is really bad.
It's just like maturity, isn't it? I mean, we want to act young, we want to feel young, but then also I think our behaviors and our communication is like youngsters as well.
Yeah.
We want that attention, but yet we don't want it. Our egos also come into play.
Yeah.
Like, why should I apologize, or I didn't do nothing? It was you, or it wasn't me.
Yeah. No, but we're in a great place in that sense. I mean, look back at how we've probably have dealt with things in the past.
There's a lot of growing.
A lot of growing. But when you see, what I have an understanding towards is when people reach out to us and they ask those questions and they don't know how to deal with it. And I'm like thinking, shit, man, these people have got more than what we have. We don't have that support. We don't have that family. We've done this alone, right? But you look at them and you do feel for it, because you understand at those times when you're going through those kind of things, you think, shit, this is over. I can't deal with this. It is really difficult. It's difficult stages, and it takes a lot of time to get where we are.
I think what the beauty is, though.
And if people already had that, like, to begin with, felt fair plays, or had great people around them to give them the best advice that they needed, they're damn lucky.
Yeah. I think what the beauty of what we're doing at the moment now, it's not just what we're doing. We want to just talk about anything and everything. But I think what the beauty is that when Sri and I are looking at things and talking about stuff, she's obviously talking from her perspective and what she's learned, and I'm doing the same. But you're quite considerate, and you look at, okay, this is where the woman might be coming from, or this is how I would have behaved then, and this is how I see things now. And I also look at it in the sense that, what I'm trying to say is we're looking at both parties. There's two parties there, and then things that you learnt about me, things I learnt about you, things that we learnt about ourselves, and how can we then help them, understand that. Whereas before, what would have been is, friends would have looked at me and tried to defend me and tell me, you don't need to deal with that shit, if I spoke to them, and which I didn't hardly much. I don't think guys do as much as, but you would have spoke to someone and they would have said something similar, but you don't look at the bigger picture. And I think that's what sometimes goes. And we're now starting going, you know what, there's always more to the story here.
Can you imagine the kind of people how we were if we were still that now?
We've been miserable.
Crazy.
We've been unhappy. We've been drained. We'd have been just thinking about next round of winning an argument.
It was horrible.
It was negative. It was very negative.
Bad. Like,
we can make good times into bad occasions.
And the thing, and you know what it is? I feel like that is because you're so used to things effing up. Like, maybe it's just that kind of blueprint that something always goes wrong, so we might as well do. Like that. that one thing Familiar? That the Indian community always do say. Well, I've heard it quite a lot from family and stuff. Where is it like? Koshgaina, or that's gonna, whatever you're saying is gonna happen, or what is it like? Mostly like I'm sure. How was it?
But I just think it's familiarity. When you've grown up and you've been around parents and people that every time you went out and you did something happen, things would just F up.
Yeah.
You just got so familiar with things effing up, or you're doing something or saying something, or you've seen your parents get into an argument over nothing. That's familiarity sometimes also comes into your relationships.
No, it does.
Because you just feel like that is, that made what life was.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it could be out of nothing, and you end up having that same feeling going, I'm used to this. I expected this. So therefore it happened again.
Yeah.
Like your birthday, what you say
Expected.
is, I've had that all the time, every birthday since I was a kid. And even now, it doesn't matter what you do or what happens.
That's what I was trying to say.
It just happens again
Yeah.
because it's like you expect it. And sometimes mentally you create it.
Yeah.
You know, you could go away and you're going, no one cared about me. So it's miserable. And then people come, you like, didn't care about this.
Yeah.
So therefore it's miserable. Or it can end up being that because you're so used to of having that familiarity of that occasion being like that.
Yeah. It was just simple little things that you're going away. I remember why I said what I said earlier. Is that when we were going away as a family to India, and already something was said, like already scared what was going to be the outcome. That's exactly what the outcome was, because you're already thinking it. That was the mentality that they had. I knew that was going to happen, and it did happen. Like kind of, so it's passed on. I think that's the same thing. Like family members would say those things,
getting passed on,
and it's passed on.
The behavior, the thoughts,
changing that pattern with yourselves now. Not when we go out, we're having. It's not that we've done that. We've had to drill it in our heads. We haven't. We slowly just realised ourselves. This is what we're doing. We're doing it to ourselves. We're destroying ourselves, and it's breaking that pattern.
And not only that, there was another thing that we just spoke about in the TikTok today, where somebody asked us question of, if you felt uncomfortable in a situation around certain people, what would you like do? And the thing again, you know, like many times back in the days, you turn up on occasions that you didn't want to go to just to make people happy, people pleasing, and or you know, not sometimes the people that whose occasion you're going to, but others, could be your parents, could be your siblings, whoever it is, that I don't want to offend them and I've got to go.
Yeah,
and you know, it's part of what everyone else is telling us to do. Be the good person, do the right thing, whatever it might be. Even though if you're sitting there, you're feeling uncomfortable, people ain't talking to you, you really want to get out of there, and you sit there, and then only later on you feel so drained, you feel shit about yourself, but you feel like you had to do it no matter what.
The amount of times I've had
and
that.
The amount of times you have to do that, and I'm sure there's people out there who can relate and still do that now, because they just don't want it to become a bigger argument or look at the bad person, and they do things, and people continuously do things. Now the answer to that was, Stuart and I, firstly, if we know that we're going to be uncomfortable, or there's going to be people out there that we couldn't give a time of day, or regardless of the person who invited us, we would actually turn around and say, look, we love you to bits, care about you, we'll come and see you a day before, we'll come and see you earlier, we'll come and see you tomorrow, whatever you important to us. But
not putting ourselves in that
we're
situation.
not putting ourselves in a situation where we have to be around people. And the thing is, we don't tell people who they should invite, shouldn't invite. It's your function. You do whatever you want. That's your job. We don't there telling people that you've got a choice to make. It's us or them. We don't do that. You got a choice. You can invite everyone. That's fine. Your party, your function, your barbecue. You know, cook whatever you want to cook. But we make the choice and decision of, are we going to turn up? Because if we know that we're going to be happy and we're going to be ourselves and we're going to be genuinely not thinking, not focusing on anything negative, if everything's going to be positive, we'll come. We want to be around people where our energy is high. Yeah. Our energy is good. People encouraged, supportive, even if it's people that we don't know.
You know, in the Indian community as well, it is that case where...
We're not people pleasing.
Yeah. You've got to call for the sake of other people are going to talk. I hate that. Like, you're going to turn up because you've been told, called you because someone else has told them to come.
Yeah.
Told them that you should invite them because they're relatives or whatever else not.
They're relatives.
They don't really want, they don't really care. Because
so basically aunts and uncles and stuff like
it could be their parents that they want to call, but obviously because you're calling the parents, you could call the parents' kids as well.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't care less whether you're there or not.
No, exactly. And it's just a mutual thing of like, we have to do it. And it's just carried on. And then the kids carry that on. But the thing is, again, it's just people pleasing, doing it for the sake of doing it. We're not that anymore. And that's the advice we gave, that firstly, we wouldn't go if we knew that there's going to be people there, or we're going to put ourselves in a situation where we're going to be unhappy. Our energy is going to be drained. Couldn't care less. We don't care if people are going to hate us for it. We don't care if the person doesn't understand. That's fine. If that's how you feel, that's okay. Still, on our occasion, we'll invite you. You don't turn up, we ain't going to feel offended. That's the thing. It's fine. Everyone's got a reason for coming or not going. And the thing is, if we go into a place or we're around people and we find ourselves feeling uncomfortable, or, regardless of what it is, we'll leave. And we won't make no excuses. We'll just say, we just got to go. Yeah. That's it. And that's how we are now, because we just know that our time is important. Our energy is important. So if we're not going to be around people that, we should waste our time on or our energy on, then we're not going to do that anymore. And
God, you imagine how much we
and
really
we've done that quite a lot. And I'm sure there's
for a
people out
long-
there still
Yeah,
to
they wouldn't
this
ask
day
that question if there
and
weren't people
date
out there. People are asking those questions.
who feel like they have to do that and they, feel crap about themselves.
Exactly.
If
The
they,
only reason they're asking is because they do feel shitty, and we felt shitty for ages as well. That, oh my God, we're
they
not
feel
doing
shitty if they don't go, then they feel shitty by going.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, if you're going to be feeling shitty by not going and going, then you might as well not go either or. It's a choice. You're going to feel shitty anyway. But at least part of you feels glad that you didn't have to be in that situation.
Yeah.
And if at the end of the day, people ain't going to call you afterwards because of the choice and decision you made and the boundaries you made, then piss them. You know what I mean? You don't need people like that who ain't going to be understanding to that. If they sat there and they said, oh, you didn't come, we wish you were there. And you're going, this was a situation. No worry, I'll get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It's okay. Those are your people.
Some people like to just take the shit.
And if they turn around and go, well, it isn't about them, it was about us, and you didn't do this, I'm like going, well, clearly you don't understand. So
and
go
some
and do
people,
what?
there's some people out there who don't want to will go just for the sake of it because they've got nothing better to do and take the shit day in, day out. Yeah, those just need entertaining.
Not only
need
that,
something
they've got
to talk
things
about.
going shit in their home.
Yeah.
And they want to go there for other people's tamasha. Yeah. Just like that show we were watching that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Basically, not focusing on their own shitty relationships.
Yeah.
They're not talking to their own partners. They got issues with their own in-laws. They got all these other problems going on, but they turn up to see other people's tamasha or create other people's tamasha, issues.
They turn up with the wives, the partners are not even with anymore, but have to show up with them.
Yeah.
And yet look at who else is not speaking,
but
who's
then
not getting
basically going there to talk about other people's issues and problems to create those.
So
more or less feel good that, we're okay. Can you see what's going on in their family? Can you see
why do you want to be a part of that?
And you're going, nah, we
got
got
time for
stuff
we ain't got time for stuff like that.
And we know it keeps going on because we get told.
It's not even that. People obviously ask us these kind of questions because, they're in that situation what we would have been years ago. Having to make those, we had no choice really. Just doing those things.
We get messages now from people who are very supportive. They basically say, we can see what you guys went through and we can see so much changes that you lot have made. And it's not because we talk about struggles, we talk about things that we've dealt with, we talk about arguments and stuff. We're not saying that we, are perfect or we had it all figured out. We even now are still learning and growing continuously.
What I was thinking also
but
is
the changes we
when we sit on here, although we have grown and we've learned and we're a lot different to how we used to be. When we sit on here, this was on my mind the other day, and I think this was the last couple of podcasts. It's although we already know, we don't really sit and have those conversations with ourselves, between each other, discussing, oh God, we are like this. We do notice the changes. We do talk about the past, but we don't sit here and acknowledge how good things are.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing to do. I think people don't do that either. And it is something. It's like processing stuff how you were and actually moving forward and knowing that you're not going to go backwards ever again. But this for us is nice. It's not therapy, but having those conversations that people just don't have. You know what I mean? We talk about the past. We talk about things that have happened. We don't see. We're really proud of ourselves. We've really gone through a shitty time where. And you don't do we ever? So we'll sit and put TV on. We'll watch something, reruns of something, or we'll watch something new that's come out. But when do we ever sit and think shit or look back at all the stuff that we do? It's because we're doing a podcast that we have to look back and we talk about stuff. And I think it's quite nice to do that.
And I always look at it, and I think we said this on the last podcast or the last couple, that you've got to look at life as the perfect timing that's created by God. Everything happens in its own time. Yeah. Just be grateful. And where you are, even though you might think that, why am I going through this? Why is this happening to me? This is unfair. And this is how we used to think. Is there a God? Isn't there a God?
Oh, God.
And the continuous time that, we feel alone. We feel that we haven't got support, family, going through all these issues. And you realize that, you know what? God always there. Was always carrying you, always showing you the way. Everything happens for a reason. Everything, the timing is perfect. Where you are now is actually taking you where you were meant to be. So just keep on believing, keep on appreciating, keep on being grateful. You don't see at that time.
But it's really hard when you say these things. I can imagine someone listening in and going through such difficult times. I mean, we haven't, like we said, we haven't still got everything together.
No.
There's so much going on in our
everything
household.
Isn't perfect.
There's so much, but we appreciate everything so much more. And we try to understand why, whatever. We take, now sitting here and discussing about the past. past, we wouldn't just do that because we're just like, oh, let's sit and watch a movie. Let's do this. So I appreciate this time that we have here as well, because we get to reflect. We get to even talk about it.
You see the growth.
Yeah, you see the growth, because you wouldn't just talk about it.
I mean, there's so many things that we were chasing at one point in our life, and so many things that we thought we wish we had that we didn't have, and we kept on arguing and having issues, feeling drained. And now I'm going, I'm not good.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's like, and still it's those things.
But what I was saying is, like, I can imagine someone looking in and thinking, yeah, it's okay for you guys to say that. You guys, we do have a lot of, oh, you guys are perfect. We've had to become perfect. It's taken us a long. We're not. We're not.
We're
We're
perfect.
still trying to get to perfect, and I don't think we ever will be. But it's just enjoying the journey, accepting the journey as well. But it's like, I've been there. I know what it's like, that moment when you're looking at someone else and saying, oh, trust in God, God's got your back. And, when you're like, yeah, really, I don't believe in him. I don't give a shit. Like, I've had enough. Why me? And all this kind of stuff. You can imagine what people must be thinking at that point when we're saying, like you're saying now, God's always been there. God's, creating that path for you. He wants to get you to a certain point where, he knows you can handle this kind of thing. And it's because you've been there yourself and you're like, oh, I know how frustrating it was. And you just lost hope. You just didn't think there was a God whatsoever, and all that hate and whatever inside of you, because I've been there. And you just think of all those people that are watching at this point thinking, yeah, you like just got it easy. Oh.
No, I haven't got it easy, but we got loads of people in their 20s and 30s, more or less, looking up. And it's nice because they listen to us quite a lot. And I just want to tell them that arguments are always going to be there. At the end of the day, you know what? Arguments and disagreements actually show that you care.
It's the thing that builds
someone doesn't, if you was arguing with someone, you're obviously fighting for a reason. There's something that matters, truly matters to you. And if the other person couldn't care less, then obviously, or both of you couldn't care less, then there's not really a relationship. There's something, communication is big, but it takes time to build that. Remember, you're both from different backgrounds, different upbringings. You're not going to have the same way of dealing with conflict or issues and problems. Some could have had loads of issues that they've learned to deal with. Some probably didn't have any and don't even know where's it all coming from. And we mentioned that not so long ago. So you got to remember, when you get into a relationship, certainly youngsters, and we say youngsters, people in their 20s, because our kids are in their 20s, that this day and age, loads of people, as soon as they have one little argument, one little disagreement, they tell their friends, and straight away, red flag, it's over and done with. Don't tolerate, don't waste your time. Time is important. It is. But when you're in a marriage or a relationship, have a look at the bigger picture of what it is and see how we can resolve things and make things better. Like I said, it's taken us time, taken us patience, it takes us a lot of understanding ourselves. And also realizing, because it's one thing, women and men are not the same. We're different. We deal with things differently. We think of things differently. Everything. So can't turn around and go, well, I would do this. Why ain't that person thinking like this? Or why is that person doing things differently? We're not the same. Don't try to make each other the same. It's never going to happen. Never in this world, right? You got to just go, that's them. This is me. This is how I deal with things. This is that person, how that person deal. But how can we deal with the issue together? Because the bigger picture is we care about each other. Even at this moment, if this person is actually pissing me off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the bigger picture is I know that I care. Even at this moment, I can probably push them under a bus, which I shouldn't do. But the thing is, I know tomorrow I care about this person.
Those moments do happen. Trust me. It does.
And it's that. It's that.
Yeah.
So for us, when this whole video started or the podcast started, arguments and disagreements are a big part of life, big part of relationships. They're going to be continuous and carry on. Maybe the older you get, you probably start learning a lot more how to handle and deal with things. But that comes with time, patience, and understanding. This is my partner. I know that they mean well. I know that they care.
Yeah.
I know that, how they behave and stuff. I know what triggers them.
Yeah.
I know that, once they open up, I know what they went through their child and why they might behave way that they are. But how can I be understanding towards that? How is that they been understanding to? Are we both working on making things better? And that's all that is.
Yeah.
And as time goes by, you realize that the disagreements slowly, they'll still be there. Arguments might still be there, but they get resolved a lot more quicker.
Yeah.
And a lot more easier and better. When you get to that point, everything was well what we're fighting for.
Yeah.
You know, but I tell you, there's some people who keep on thinking just by changing a partner or change their situation, change their issues and problems, it doesn't.
Yeah. You're still taking that same you to that
That-
partner, that
The
new
majority
partner.
of the time, it's not the other person. It's about you understanding, why am I getting triggered or dealing with things? Why do these things matter in the way that they do? So, anyway,
I
yeah.
think I've got to learn this as well. Like, I learn a lot from our podcast. It's not just other people taking things away. And honestly, I was thinking this whilst I was washing these damn glasses as well. First I was like, I want to change my birth date. But I was like, you know what? It's nice because when we sit here, we don't actually, we
She
do
just sits there and she goes, my husband's such a wise guy. I love him to bits. He's so smart.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Why did I just listen to him 20-something years ago? We would have been so much more happier.
Did you know any of this shit 20-something years ago?
But you still understand that it is me, yeah?
You're the biggest baby I knew. I've mothered you like you needed. I feel like I had to be his mummy to get him where he is, to get to understand, honestly, because this boy is broken. So I think you should be praising me as much as you love the praises. Don't laugh it off. You know it's true. That's the laughter because you know you're uncomfortable
You are so
now.
true, baby. You're so true. You know what I mean? No, I couldn't do anything. Everything that I've been doing, all the podcasts, all the YouTube, leaving my job. If my wife wasn't there to support me, I couldn't do it. And that is the honest truth.
What I was saying was when I'm washing the dishes, I do have these thoughts. I was honestly, and I might say this later to you as well, but like these thoughts do come to my head. I was like, these are kind of conversations a mature couple should be having. Like we sit here, but we don't. We will watch reruns of Friends. We'll watch something.
What's wrong with reruns of Friends?
There's nothing, but we wouldn't just.
Makes me happy.
I don't think any couple would just generally sit there. Let's have a glass of wine. And let's talk about the past and let's
I
reflect.
think sometimes the past triggers people.
Yeah.
It hurts people.
But when you know you're doing it for a good cause, you're doing it because you know it's going to benefit somebody else. I feel like it feels so much more. That's for me, that's how it feels. Like I know I'm talking about it. It's also benefiting me because I'm looking back, I'm thinking, shit, we've grown so much and we've done it alone with no one. But also, we wouldn't do this normally. So I appreciate that we get to do this. We sit here once a week, we get to do this and we get to share it with other people who probably need the advice, who need that, outlook like, oh my God, there's guys out there, a couple that, I look up to because we wouldn't think it. And I'm happy to say it now.
I never had a couple that I could look up to.
Yeah, no, but now I'm happy enough.
Life.
Like I wouldn't, no, I haven't. I
life?
have not. But now I can say I'm proud enough to, and be proud that I am a couple. We are a couple. And I'm proud of us and that people look up to us. Before I'd be like, what is it to us? What is it about us that people really like? And I appreciate where we are, and I appreciate that people want to come to us for advice.
And honestly, guys, we're not saying we're perfect as a couple or perfect as kids. I'm not putting us down either, but I'm just saying, and people look at it and all that. But all I'm saying is, it's continuous working, continuous building. Just like if you didn't focus on your building or your work, on your business or your life or your physique, you stop going to the gym, everything will go. You got to continuously work and continuously grow and learn from where you are. By starting building those foundations in the first place.
So I think that's why it makes it that much more. Like I love it that much more because I know there's people out there who'd want to listen in, who'd want to take something away.
And not only that,
and we needed it ourselves.
With what you're saying also is, when we're continuously talking about things in the past, like even if it is my birthday, how we were or how we would have acted when we went out, you look at yourself now and you're going, I don't think like that. I don't do that. Things I wouldn't do that now.
You know why you probably would have done those things.
And it's that kind of thing. So it's
also nice to look back and think there were good moments though. They weren't bad moments. They were absolutely fantastic moments.
At the time, you probably focused only on the negative.
Yeah.
But now you look at it and going, did you know? Back, like I said, something like 80-90% of that time doing something was positive. That 5-10% was probably negative, and you focus more on the negative.
Yeah.
But now when you look at it, you're going, actually, I had a good time.
You're like, oh my God, do you remember that night? The things that could have actually happened if we had allowed it to happen. That's the positive we should have really looked at.
It still can happen.
Can it really?
Not getting into that. But anyway, guys. Yeah, so that's the advice, guys. And let us know what other kind of things you guys want to talk about. We have loads.
I really enjoy this. I honestly,
we start from one thing, we go to something else, and we have so many people writing to us about different things, and it's hard to put everything into a podcast, one podcast. So we do drift from here to here, but it's our own way.
And I believe we will be repeating half of this stuff a million times again because we're going to have new people coming, and no one's going to really watch old videos as well. So Yeah, and the main thing is because we never know where it's gonna go to, and we're just so like we just see how it goes. I love that. I love it because I feel like I learn a lot from it myself as well.
Yeah, I think we both do, and we continuously. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Let's instead of I'll get into another conversation.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can do that.
I can't stop talking, as you guys can know.
Yeah,
And Street always has to like.
I lighten up his life. I'll end it there.
Anyway, guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Let us know what else you guys want us to discuss and talk about. And I was going to say, because loads of people say on our TikTok, can we message you in private and leave you, something that
We need to get something set up for that.
to talk about on our podcast. Guys, you guys don't have to leave your names. You don't have to leave your personal details. You guys can just let us know what you guys want us to talk about and discuss. And or even if your name is there, we won't mention any names. It is basically
Do you
personal.
think we put that one off today because you had to?
Yeah. So basically, it is going to be, or it's always going to be personal. Like private. We never disclose anyone's details. We will just discuss it from our own perspective, give our perspectives and our opinions, whatever people ask. That's what it is. Okay, so don't have to worry and think I'm going to mention or we're going to mention. That doesn't happen here. Okay, we know that there's so many people going through similar things and they just want our take because sometimes they don't have people to turn to. And like I said, we're not saying that we're specialists or experts. We're people giving advice that we wish that we had.
That's it.
At the time when we were going through all our struggles and problems and issues. And that's it. So people want to take it, fine. If people don't, then it's just another way of thinking. Let's just put it that if you didn't think of a certain way to deal with whatever was going on, you've just got some other information from somebody that you don't know, and it might just give you a different outlook.
Yeah.
That's it. And sometimes we need that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, guys, that was the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. See you soon. Bye.
I like that. I'm going to do that from now on.
Cool.
Peace out.